Lunch is served, and this is a whole lot of yum.
Hurry up, I'm hungry! Welcome back to a lot of craft. We're good. We're good. We couldn't have done that if we tried.
No.
We missed you.
Yeah, it's post-Christmas, post-holidays.
And getting really, really cold.
Yeah, it is finally winter, even though we have not a lick of snow. Beautiful sunny day, but no snow.
It's really cold.
Really
it would probably feel better if it was actually snow out there.
I know, I would prefer that. But that's okay. It's bound to happen.
Yes.
The winter will be shorter this year in general, I guess.
Maybe.
I'm hoping.
Maybe not.
Hoping this is a sign of early spring. I don't know. But anyway, so how was your Christmas?
I had a wunderbares Christmas.
Good.
I got lots of fun stuff. I got this.
Ooh, very nice.
That my mother-in-law made me. I knitted this.
Did you?
No, I didn't. My
Aw.
mother-in-law made it for me.
You could
Come
have.
on.
You could have.
In fact, today it's so cold. It was 9 degrees this
Ooh.
morning, which I know for some people isn't really
Yeah.
cold, but for me that's cold.
That's nice.
And I was putting, I have ice out front, and I was putting stuff on the ice, and I was like, I should be wearing this, because, you know, you have your standbys that you always
Yeah.
wear that I got out from last winter,
Yeah.
and I was like, I need to be having this
Oh,
on my...
that looks cozy.
Yes, it is. It's really nice. So I need to put it on today.
Super thick. Very nice.
So, yeah. How about you? Did you have a wonderful Christmas?
I did.
New Year?
Yeah, we had lots of visitors. 3 Christmases, actually, all together. 'Cause
Wow.
yeah, the family and then the extended family came at 2 separate times. So it was a week of Christmases,
Wow.
which isn't bad. We had
Is that Christmas Eye?
Christmas eye, plural. I guess if it's octopi.
Christmas-y?
Christmas. Oh,
Christmases.
this is going nowhere fast.
Anyway, so we had a whole
Yeah.
bunch of Christmas.
We ate and ate and
a
ate.
whole lot of Christmas.
We did. We did. We had lobster for dinner one night, and we had our traditional sauerbraten, which is, my dad informed us that it's not the official German version because that's made like a pot roast, and then the gravy's put on top. Ours is made like a stew. So, and for those of you who don't know sauerbraten, it's basically, ours is basically meat and vegetables and spices soaked in vinegar for 4 days or so until the meat's pretty much cooked, like a ceviche idea. And then you pull all the meat out and you make a gravy and potato pancakes and then put everything back together again.
Wow.
And it's wonderful.
I bet it is.
We've been
Yum.
eating it every year for as long as I can remember, and so we had that.
Super
Christmas
yum.
is all about food.
It is. It is.
It really is.
Today's going to be about food.
Yeah, we're going to do some different stuff today.
But first, what have you been working on?
Well, since Christmas, because I had to get all the gifts done ahead of time, I've just been making some baby things for people. I made a little sweater.
Oh my god, that is so
I need some
cute!
buttons, but
Really? Babies are that little?
I know.
It's hard to
This is
believe.
actually a 6-month size.
Really?
So it
That
needs
is
to.
so cute.
It needs to be blocked because I think it's a little bit on the small side, but it's a super wash, so it'll grow.
With the baby.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I made a little hat.
Oh,
With a
cutie.
pom-pom.
That's really cute.
That's for a toddler, which is why it's slightly bigger. But yeah, these were really fun. Just quick little fun projects. And I'm almost done with a sock, my Christmas sock.
That's pretty colors.
It's just about done there. It's all tangly.
Is it red? Like I can't.
It is kind of an
it's like-
orangey red. Matches your
And
tablecloth.
is it green?
A little bit of green.
A little green.
And then blue and gray. This is the Arnie and Carlos colors from Regia Schockenmeyer, the German wool. Some of you guys will know who Arnie and Carlos are because people have been talking about their color work, their colorways for a while. But this was the first time I've tried it, and it just happened to be Christmassy. So
Fun.
that's almost done. And then just because I'm a sucker for punishment, I signed up for a 2-year blanket knit along.
2 years.
2 years.
That's quite a contract. You know,
Yeah.
I just got added a cell phone to our line, and that was a 2-year contract too.
Yours is probably a
tough
little
decision.
easier to decide on than this one, because I'm doing the fingering weight version because I have a lot of scraps, but it's going to be hexagons, and the idea is to do 1 hexagon per month so that you can kind of, you don't feel like you're overwhelming yourself. But this is the start of my first hexagon.
So how long does it take to do a hexagon?
Well, I haven't finished mine yet, so this took me an afternoon.
Just that?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So you could potentially do a hexagon in a day or two.
Yeah,
and be done
yeah,
for
I think
the
so.
month.
And I think they're only going to be like that big, maybe. I don't think they're going to be humongous.
That's interesting.
So, but that's the start. It's called Persian Dreams.
How do you not lose the hexagon you made the first month when you missed the last month?
That's a good question. I'm going to have to find a very strategic hiding place for them so they don't get mixed
That
up.
would be my problem. Like, yeah, you know what? I did all of them, but I just can't find the
Yeah.
first 12.
Yeah. I'm going to do mine all in the off-white background with neutrals in the center, like
Fun.
grays and deep greens
It looks
and
like
blues.
cactuses.
Yeah, it does so far. But it's
Or
supposed to be like a
ants.
Persian rug when it's done. That's the idea. And the
Ah.
ones online I've seen are multiple colors, and they're really beautiful, but I'm going for the neutrals. So,
Wow, that is quite the commitment.
yeah, I'm going to do that with some of the folks over at the Stockinette Zombies website podcast group. So, if any of you guys are interested, I can hook you up with that too. But,
Fun.
yeah, and I have not worked on it yet because it's not finished, but I have to show it up because this
Go
is
for
exciting.
it. Go for it.
This will be, hopefully soon, my new weaving loom.
That is so crazy.
And they're 3D printed, but they look like wood, which is even cooler. So, my husband made this for me, and he's staining it and sanding it and varnishing it, and then we have to put it together. And I'll have a tabletop loom to make, like, I'm not sure, scarves, placemats, smallish things.
Fun. My daughter got
So,
a loom for Christmas
yeah.
too, and I was so excited because now I get to use it.
Is hers like
Hers
real
is
kind?
about this tall.
Like with the heddle, or is it just the square?
It's square and it has 2 sticks, so you put 1 stick
Okay.
in and weave it through, and you keep pulling that up. So it doesn't, it's
It
not the
doesn't
advanced
flip.
one
Yeah,
where
That's
it
what this one will
flexes.
do.
It
This will
will
be that kind.
The kind that I was just talking about.
The flippy kind.
Oh, fun!
Kind of, but I don't think it's, there's gears, but I have to figure out how it goes together and how to work it once it's put together. So this is going to be a bit of a process.
So this could be a 2-year commitment as well.
I suppose it could be, considering it's been another week and I haven't seen any more progress done yet. But, yeah, look at that. I just think this is fun.
It is really cool because it does look like wood
Yeah.
and it's printed. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a polymer filament with wood in it.
So could you 3D print a sweater?
Probably. I guess if you really wanted to. I don't know how flexible it would be though.
I think we should try 3D printing a swatch just for the heck of
Yeah. We'll have to look up and see. We do have a program that we've been messing around with that will scan something and turn it into a 3D render, I guess is what it's called. I'm not sure of all the terminology, but yeah,
it. Wow.
that could be fun.
That's exciting.
Stay tuned. That's
awesome.
He's messing around with various filaments too, to see which ones.
The filaments are what prints it.
Yes, the little plastics. It's like a big long plastic string like this, only fatter, and then it melts and is extruded into the right shape, laid layer by layer.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll have to see what we can come up with that. So yeah, besides the knitting, did you get other fun things or no?
No, I got no fun things.
None.
I got a bucket of coal. There's a bucket of coal on my front porch. No, I did get a lot of exciting things, and I actually made some gifts this year.
Oh, you did?
I
You got
did.
stuff done.
I got stuff done finally.
All right.
I made this apron for my daughter.
Oh, very lovely.
It's reversible.
I like the colors a lot.
Yes.
That's fun.
We were baking she had a party with her friends this year, and we were icing cookies, and she said, "You guys want aprons?" And she started pulling out all my aprons, and she goes, "This one's mine," and she pulls it up, and it was like, it fit like this, because it was just time. It's one I made when she was little, and it was like a huge gingham print and a little gingham print, and she's not into gingham at this point in her life, so it was sort of funny. She was like, oh, what is this? So I decided it was time for a big girly
Yeah.
one. So,
That's nice.
you know,
That's very nice.
and then I actually made another one, which I gave away
Mhm.
to my neighbor that is the same pattern, but it's purple.
Okay.
Because she likes purple, and I also made her a little bag for her car for trash because she had asked for that. I
Nice.
have one in my car. So yeah, that's what. Oh, and I had a really big jewelry order that I worked on. It was 2 bracelets.
Yes, that's what you were
Yes.
doing last time, right?
Yes, and 6 keychains.
Wow.
So that was a lot of work right before Christmas.
Yeah.
But I got it done, got it out, and
Very
they seem to enjoy it.
Good.
So
That's
busy,
kinda
busy,
good,
busy.
little extra funds to go play with then.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Well, and I also have been thinking after doing the hitched keychain, I want to make one for myself because I've never made one for myself, and I just haven't had a chance. I have all the stuff ready. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and do it. So I'm hoping soon.
Well, it is January, which is supposed to be the crafting for you time, right? Get through the holidays when you're doing
Not
stuff
really
for others,
me.
and then New Year, New You, right?
No, it doesn't. That's not how
All
it works.
you.
Right?
Yeah.
Mine is January. A lot of work to do.
Yeah. I got a couple things I still need to do for other people, but I've got plans. There's always plans.
There's always plans.
Yeah.
I actually bought new shelving for my studio to make it more functional, and I'm excited about that. I'm about halfway through, like, because I just take everything off.
Oh, right.
And then originally it was take everything off. I'm just replacing them with these other shelves
Yes.
that were there. Should be easy to put it back on, but then once you take everything off, then you're like, should I move that? Should I move that? What if that was over there? What if
This
that?
one could use a different container.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't even getting that. That was like
Oh.
moving the furniture and how's the layout of this room, and
Oh, I
like,
see.
you know, I took stuff off shelves and piled it on this because
Yeah.
I don't need to move that, and then realizing maybe I do. I need to move it 6 inches, so I have to take everything off. So
Uh-huh.
yes, now I'm in the process of like, do I really need this anymore?
Okay, so
Getting rid of a
that's
lot
kind
of
of for
little
you.
kids crafts,
So
and
get,
it
you know,
is
clear
it is.
out and refresh.
Getting there soon. It'll be done, and we can record up there
Yay, that'd be nice.
for like, you know, a month until we get all messy again.
Sounds chaos again.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, your studio reminds me of the book my kids got me for Christmas, which is Design Mom, How to Live with Kids, a room by room guide. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but it had some neat ideas for like, just kind of how to make things more functional.
That's always
Like
helpful.
here are different ways to style your, not style, but hide your shoes. And if you can't hide them, how do you make it look nice? Like how to add cubbies into spaces. And our house is very well put together, but has no extra space to work with.
Ours
It's
is
just,
too.
yeah, we got little closets and all the nooks and crannies already. So I have to figure out, maybe this will give me some ideas on how to make those spaces a little more functional. So, but that was kind of cool to get a start, and how do I add their things into my things and have it still look
Right.
nice,
Right.
you know. So that was a nice book. And then they gave me some idea books too.
Oh, fun.
A handmade bath and body book, which I think we could have some fun with.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, and Green Craft magazine, which is all about recycled crafts, which we're pretty good at around here.
We
so
are. But new ideas are always welcome.
yeah. So I'm excited. We can look through some of those and see what we can
In
come
the
up
future.
with. Yeah,
Yes. So today,
we actually have more books.
yay!
Yeah,
More
we're-
books.
We're not doing a DIY per se, but we are going to review a couple of books. Cooperative Press is very gracious and frequently sends us new copies of things to review. And today we're going to do 2 of them, Cast Iron, Cast On, and Color Wheel Knits. So they're 2 that are a little bit off the beaten path when it comes to crafting books.
Exactly.
So come on back and join us, and we'll talk about what we think about these 2 books. We're going to be reviewing a few books today from Cooperative Press, like I said before, and our first book is called Color Wheel Knits, Knits for Hand-Dyed Yarns by Vera Valimaki of the Color Affection fame. So you guys probably know that one by her, but she has a new book now.
yes.
What do you think?
It was an interesting construct
Mm-hmm.
of how, so she divided it up into 4 color groups and then had knits. I mean, it's supposed to be highlighting hand-dyed yarn.
Right. The colors and the tones of the hand-dyed yarns and hand-painted.
Right. So that was interesting because she never really says why she chose certain patterns to go with certain colors. Which in all honesty, you can use any color for any pattern you want,
Right,
which
you
is
could.
what people do all the time.
Yes.
But I was curious as to why she chose, this particular sweater to go as a blue compared
Right.
to this particular sweater that's a red.
Mhm.
And I don't know if there was any reason other than that's just what she liked.
Right, it could be like there's one here in the red section that's called Little Red, which I think is probably more like the Red Riding Hood idea. And spruce lends itself well to green,
Right.
or like the bluish green of the spruce. But we were wondering, because she's of course from Finland, if some of it might just be from translation, that in English it doesn't sound like the word maybe concrete in Finland has a bluer hue than concrete in America, which is why it's under blue instead of gray. But that being said,
the introductions are really cool because she talks a lot about the history of color, which I think is really neat, and the history of not just color but dyeing, and what colors were more available than others historically, and how you dye different things. So that's really kind of cool, and just for that in itself as an informational book about how color was used in tapestry and knitting is really interesting.
Right, and then getting into what plants, if you wanted to do natural dyes, what plants would create that color. Excuse me. Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I really enjoyed a lot of the styling. I thought that the garments are shaped a little bit differently than you might traditionally find on a rack at a department store, and maybe that's the European flair a little bit coming out, because I know styling is different from there to here.
Right. They do have these really cool pictures for each particular pattern that they look like basically like a designer had sat down and drew the picture and then painted it with watercolors, and then they have the dimensions, and so those are really pretty. But we each picked a hat that we really liked.
We did. My favorite hat is spruce, and it kind of looks like pine needles up against a tree.
And I like the beetle cap, which is actually a child's cap, but I have a small head, so I can probably wear it.
Yeah, you might be able to.
But it has a cute little brim. It has almost like a herringbone pattern in the brim. So, but did you knit anything from this book? Did you have a chance to?
I started to. I was making, let me just check the name of it here. It's in the blue section. Okay, come back.
But it's a neat book. It's just, it definitely has its own kind of organization, which isn't typical for the organization of a book. Usually it's by like seasons or,
style of garment.
Right, so that there's definitely a very specific relationship. This is, I think, just the author, this is what she chose, and I guess when you make enough patterns, it's your prerogative to do that.
Yes, that is true, and she does have quite a large collection. I was actually going to make Ground, which is a garter stitch, kind of a short-sleeved open front cape idea. I started it for my Nanny Swimo and then immediately put it down. Not because of the pattern, but because of the time. But it's really neat. It's got some neat construction to it, which I appreciate. I like things that are not standard. It just makes you pay a little more attention, and it's a little more fun. So I do intend to pick that one up again at some point. And I thought that her instructions were quite clear when I was reading through it. That was really good. The only thing that I would caution is that it appears that she might be a loose knitter. My gauge, I had to go up a few needle sizes to get the proper sizing. So if you happen to be a tighter knitter, keep that in mind when you're doing your swatch and starting for these patterns. So, but otherwise, I think a lot of them could be worn by men or women. There are kids' patterns in here as well.
Yeah, there's some neat patterns in here.
There's accessories, sweaters, long sleeve, short sleeve, mittens, hats, all kinds of neat stuff. So,
scarves.
If you were a knitter, would you knit these things?
If I was a knitter, I would. It doesn't have dishcloths, so I'm kind of at a loss. Right. You know me, I haven't moved beyond the dishcloth.
Yeah.
I would. There's some really neat things in here that I would definitely enjoy. And it's not just sweaters, it's not just hats. It's a variety of different things, so you're likely to find something in here that you would really enjoy. So.
Yeah, and I like how they kind of went outside of the lines. Like they have a man wearing a pink sweater, which I think is really pretty cool. And then later on, there's another men's sweater that I think could go very well on a man or a woman. It's got some really fun buttons down the front of it. So I just, to play around with it, and even if it's not done in the same color,
Right.
the styling is really neat.
But you're right, the styling is neat. Some of the kids' sweaters, the one with the buttons on the back is really cute too.
Yeah. So you can buy this book through Cooperative Press for $16.95 and you get 22 patterns, so it's actually a really good deal
Wow.
for that price versus buying them all individually. I believe you can also get it through Ravelry Download as an ebook, so there's a couple different ways. And again, I just want to say that I think that the fact that it's translated from Finnish is, they did a remarkable job of making sure that it's understandable in English. I'm sure some of that is kind of a hard thing to
Right,
translate,
right.
so yeah.
So, and we're going to be giving this away along with the next book that we're going to review. So you can go to our website,
WholeLotOfCraft.com.
or you can go to our Ravelry page,
Whole Lot of Craft.
or you can send us carrier pigeon. And we'll have a thread on there. We haven't really decided what we're going to post as a thread. It's going to be a surprise to all of us, including us.
But there'll be some kind of comment to make, and then we'll enter you in giveaways for both these books.
Awesome.
So, and what's the second book?
The second book is Cast Iron, Cast On.
Yes.
Which is, this book was written for us.
It really is. I think this was a fantastic book for us.
We have to go do our iPad-y stuff and print it up. So Cast Iron, Cast On is a book that it's called Cooking and Knitting Through the Seasons, and it's by Becky Herrick and
Callie Hastings.
And basically these are women that live in Vermont, and so it is a recipe and knitting book.
Yeah, every month has recipes and appropriate knits for the season, which is really cool. When I first saw the title, Cast Iron, Cast On, it did not occur to me that it had food in it, and I was thinking like, wow, these are going to be really tight gauges, like a cast iron sleeve or something. But once I got into it, it was just immediately like, we have to do this book.
Yes.
It's perfect for
Again,
us.
it's one that has a very different construct than most books. One, they start in December, which is really odd.
Right.
Most books that have to do seasonally or monthly start in spring.
Yeah.
Because it's the time of renewal. But the idea of it still holds together because they're talking about, they start in December, and the whole book is about their community in Vermont and the sense of community, and how December is really the month when you have the most sense of community because of Christmas and everybody's getting together and sharing.
And do parties.
And so they have some really neat, interesting recipes like that.
Yeah,
We have started in December with
some flavored vodka, which would be a fantastic gift for someone other than a teacher.
well, actually, it would probably be a fantastic
Maybe
gift
some
for a
teachers
teacher.
would like that, but yes.
Just to give them outside of school.
Yeah, and then
Maybe in the back alley, I'll give you the Christmas gift.
but along with this, they made little gift bags. So that would be really cute to do a beaded gift bag and put a little container of flavored vodka and, cinch it up and off you go.
There you go. You can walk around town there with it. It's in your paper bag.
Yeah. A very fancy little drinky bag. But yeah, I like the way that they paired that, if they're going to do something small, a gift bag is a fantastic way to do that. So that's a really quick first project. And the yarns they picked, like this one has silk in it, so the yarn itself has a little bit of sheen.
Oh, fun.
So not only the beads, but it has just a little bit of glitz just from the yarn itself.
Yeah, so some really neat recipes and different types of things. One that I made cornbread. I made this yesterday, and we ate some of it for dinner. And we're going to have some more a little bit later.
I can't wait.
So I did not realize the pesto went in it, and I didn't have any when I made it, so it should be greener, and it's not. But I'm going to add pesto later. Cooking with me is always a...
Cooking with Sue.
It's always a little, it's an adventure because I've never let the lack of ingredients stop me from trying a recipe. So anyway.
Yeah, well, I think that's not a bad thing. That as I read through this, a lot of the recipes were all based on what you can get in a season and what can you get locally, and what do you have in your own backyard. So that lends itself very well to cooking with you.
Right, exactly. But not every single recipe is made. It's cast iron, cast on is the name, but not everyone is made in a cast iron pan. This one was, and the one we're going to make later is. But there's another one. There's one called Mini Maple Pavlova, which is apparently a New Zealand type treat.
Okay.
Because one of the women spent a lot of time in New Zealand, and so that's more. It's sort of like a meringue with a filling in it. So I think I might have to try that one because
Yeah.
it looks really interesting. But did you have any favorite knits in this one that you want to
I
try?
do. Yeah, there's a few that I'd like to try. One thing again I want to say about them is as I looked through the gauge again for the author who knit these or the testers must be a looser knitter because I would never be able to make the gauge with the way I knit, and I'm a tighter knitter again. So keep that in mind when they ask for a size 10 to use an Aran weight yarn to make 13 stitches per inch. That to me would be a difficult thing. I'd have to go up needle sizes for that. So in the back of your head, just keep that in mind. But yeah, I really liked, there's a pink sweater in the springtime section. Actually, it's a summertime section.
Mentha.
With some cables down the sides that I really thought was pretty. I do like, there's a tank that's got a ruched bust.
This one?
Yes. But I do want to caution you guys, as I was looking through it, it is missing a schematic, so you may need to contact the author if you decide to do that one, just to make sure that it fits properly across the bust. But it's a really cute little A-line.
The Cucurbita. Is that how you say
Yes,
that?
Cucurbita, thank you. Yes, it's a little A-line, thicker straps, which I like, rather than the little thin spaghetti straps. Those two, because I'm always searching for things for summertime. I have some lightweight yarn that I would like to use, but there's not always a lot of options out there. So this gives some nice summertime knits. And then of course there's the nice winter standbys. There's hats. And I think my favorite wintertime sweater is the one for January, which is called Blue Gold and has some really nice texture. Again, open front cardigan. I seem to be leaning towards the open front these days. Too much Christmas. The open front. No.
So no, there's some really. I think this one's worth its weight in gold as well, in blue gold.
In blue gold.
No, this one's definitely worth it as well. Just for, I mean, the recipes that I looked at they look amazing. They're different. They're not anything you would just find unless you were really searching for something different. And some really neat knits in there. So I think this one's definitely worth buying as well.
I'm just double checking our price here.
The other thing is that this book is one of those that you can read it.
Yes.
There's nice little introductions, and you really get a glimpse into their life in Vermont, and they talk about the different seasons there and what kind of things they're doing each month in Vermont. So it's not just a pattern book, it's not just a recipe book. I tend to like those types of recipe books that have a little more meat to them, and it's almost like you're talking to the person who wrote it, and they're telling you a little bit about their life. So that's kind of fun too, because then each recipe and each pattern actually has some sort of a history to it.
Right. This book is $16.95. It has 16 patterns plus all of the recipes that go along with it, and you can get this through Ravelry as ebook or through Cooperative Press.
Yeah, and there's 1 to 2 recipes every month, so almost 24 recipes.
Quite a lot of options. You know what one I didn't mention that I did really like? They have a little apron that I thought was really fun. Just a little string-tied apron around your waist. That's something that, an easy beginner knitter project with pockets is called Set
It's really like
Davis.
a huge dishcloth.
It is.
It looks exactly like a dishcloth, but it's really big.
Yeah.
Are you saying that I could make that?
You could. But I just thought that was cool because it's just something different. I've never seen anybody create a knitted apron before, so that was kind of fun, and it goes really well with the topic of the book. So,
so I would just pay attention when you're writing the recipes. There was some editing errors. I wasn't quite sure on some of the recipes when to add what ingredients, but otherwise I think it's a great book, and we're gonna actually make another recipe.
Yeah, I'm excited to try
from
some
the
of
book.
these.
It is called Brussels sprouts and cranberries braised in cider.
Yum.
Which sounds really, really good.
Yeah, perfect for this time of year when it's so cold outside. So.
Yes. So stay with us, and we'll get to that. So before we get on to our cooking, I'm so excited. Remember, we are giving away a copy of Color Wheel Knits, and we're giving away a copy of Cast Iron Cast On.
Yep.
All you have to do is join our thread that we are going to put up on our Ravelry group.
Right, and join the Ravelry group as well if you have not already. And then we have our second giveaway that's been ongoing for your Christmas and holiday crafts. So if you have anything that you made over Christmas and you'd like to post a picture, you can throw that up in the thread, and we'll be doing a drawing for our next podcast. Will be when we draw that.
Yes. We can't wait to see what you guys made, or I suppose it could be something handmade that you got too.
Yeah,
if you didn't have time to whip something up before Christmas, if you got something handmade, we want to see it.
Your wrapping, your ornaments, whatever. I just think that's fun. So, so make sure you check out those things, and we're gonna go and play in the kitchen now.
Fun. This looks really yum.
It does. It looks really yum. Cast iron, cast on.
Yes.
Yeah. This is.
I like this idea of a recipe book that has knitting and cooking. We
Yeah.
could do this every month.
I know. This would
I'll
be much
cook,
fun.
you knit, and we'll get together and eat.
Get little dishcloths for after the fact and clean ourselves up.
Oh yeah, little bowls.
Yeah. So we have cornbread with pesto. And what else?
The Brussels sprouts with the cider and cranberry Brussels sprouts.
All right. And the vodka, if we want to sample, is here as well.
Maybe we'll throw that in our cider.
We could, probably. It's newish, but we could probably try it. It's got at least some caramel flavor.
Give us a little warmth inside.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to dish up.
Yeah, so there was supposed to be a little bit more pesto inside the cornbread, but
That's okay.
you know, you can add it on top, or you can have it with butter or cheese is the serving suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to these Brussels sprouts because I'm really hungry.
Yeah, me too.
And then you can garnish those with the toasted walnuts and the bacon.
Excellent.
There you go, ma'am. So, super yum.
Yeah. So if you guys, we will put up the thread for a giveaway for both the books, the Cast Iron, Cast On, and the Color Wheel Knits, both. So hop on over there and we'll have a question for you to answer. And you can get your own copy, and it would be fun to see what you guys think of the recipes too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, so sprinkle a little on there, and we hope that you guys are enjoying something as yummy as we are right
and
now.
staying warm, because it seems like there's this lovely cold snap going on. Spring is gone, winter's here. Dig in.
All right.
Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Fall right off my fork.
Cooking with Sue is good.
Most of the time.
I'm enjoying it.
That is yummy.
Mm-hmm.